Woohoo! I got it. Okay. How are you?
You know, I'm doing great. I'm even better now because I'm talking to you.
Hello.
I had the chance to watch Monica back in Venice last year, and
Yeah.
it's one of those movies that you keep talking or thinking about it. And I want to focus in two great scenes that you had with Tracy. It's when you're crying at nighttime and she goes to comfort you, and when she goes and do your makeup. To me, she's trying to create intimacy with you, but you push
Yes.
her out. So how is creating this beautiful and oddly chemistry with Trace and you know, in this not common movie?
Well, you know, it's a beautifully written movie, and the reason is because Andrea Paloro trusts the intelligence of a viewer. You know, I think it's why it was one of the earliest acceptance in the history of Venice Film Festival.
Yeah.
And but you know, creating this character, you know, Trace and I had an immediate connection from the moment I met her. I saw her the first time I ever saw her in person was across a crowded room at an Emmy party for Sharp Objects. I was there because of Sharp Art. And I see this beautiful woman across a crowded room, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my daughter. And, you know, it was just such a, I wanted to shout it to everybody at the event. And anyway, but Trace, you know, she's such a stunning actress, and we work in a very similar way, and we don't need to discuss things. We're both very visceral, both very emotional. And so we created this kind of silent language. It's something I've never done in my career as an actress. You know, I'm a very verbal person. I've played a lot of very verbal parts in my life. Even women who are dying are much more verbal than Eugenia. And, you know, I was robbed of my voice, of my body, but not my soul. And that's what had to live, is in these scenes where I'm still not sure. I still am not sure. I'm starting to put things together. Is this my child? Is she a woman from hospice? I've got Adriana Barraza, the greatest actress alive. I've got, hey, get away. You know, just a side note that whenever I look at Adriana Barraza in the movie, there's no acting there. She truly is one of my, you know, heroes, and she's just one of the most beautiful, extraordinary actresses ever put on this planet. And so anytime I had to just kind of look adoringly at her, it was the easiest day. But anywho, but yeah, so Trace is, but that's what I love about Andrea, is these characters are so complicated, and the emotional life in sometimes a minute or 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it changes dramatically, and you had to be willing to kind of have love and not, and fierce and not. It was such a mixture of emotions constantly, except when I get to the bathtub scene, you know, when I'm acknowledging that you know, the most, you know, the very important scene in this film, when I realize your child is your child is your child is your child, you know.
How's your mindset as an actress? Because your character is dying, and you know that scene, and we know as an audience, because that's why Trace's character goes back home. Is your mindset the same? Because you know that you're not gonna last the whole movie, and you know that you're
No.
dying in every scene. You are dying. Is your
Yes.
mindset different when you create a character like this?
It was so challenging for me. I have to be very honest with you. This was probably one of, or if not the most challenging parts, because I had to, she's just debilitated. I had to kind of clock this. And with brain cancer, sometimes the body, the left body, the side of the body works, sometimes the right, sometimes your arms don't work, your legs, your feet, everything is being robbed. Your body is being robbed from you and swiftly taken as you know. And I said on today, I don't know what part of my bodies are going to work on every day. So just know I'm going to be battling this. And, you know, it was fierce. I had to kind of, as Patty, understand that these were going to be very long and very difficult days. And I said, you took this part for a reason, Patty. You took this part because of the great, great, great actors you're surrounded by, and the great Andrea Paloro. And I said, don't let them down. You can do this. I had to throw out my vanity, as you can see, no vanity, no ego. I had to let all of those, the things we hold dear as in life, had to just go. I had to just be a dying woman every day, a woman that was really, I think, sadly, ready to move on. Clearly, she had stopped the chemo, she had given up. But I think the one thing that's holding her from dying is her child, is she wants her child back. And that's why, yeah.
No, go ahead.
And when I think she starts to realize that this beautiful woman, this is her child. I mean, it's such a moment in cinema that this dying woman realizes this incredible woman sitting in front of her is her daughter, is her blood, is her child. I think she can die because she realizes she loves her. She loves her unconditionally. And her child will spend the rest of her life with the love of her mother in her heart. I know it sounds corny, but that's the truth. I would never want my mother to die not knowing that I love her. I would never want to die without my mother knowing I love her. You know, it's so basic. But Andrea takes something so primal, something so beautiful, something so simple as unconditional love, which I have gotten every single day of my life from parents who are still with me. 88 years old, I'm 63, and I still get unconditional love from them. But Andrea has taken something so simple and made it this just kind of monumental moment in a film, which is rare. Because usually something that's monumental in a film is something, you know, it's a lot of shouting and screaming. It's car crashes. It's something, you know, this is just simply love. It's pure love.
Because it's a character-driven film. And this is the relationship that you have with Tracy's character. And this is the main part. Because you say something very important. For me, she wanted to accept her child, and she didn't. And you say that what hold her to do not die is that she didn't have this reconciliation with her yet. And at some point, she felt that they're gonna happen because she's a Midwestern woman. Like she's really close. Like this is her mentality. She's very traditional. And I have to be honest, when I start watching the movie, I usually don't read anything about the films that I'm watching in festivals. So I didn't know what I was facing. And I haven't watched Transparent back then, so I didn't know about race. And I didn't know what was going on until the movie tells by myself what's going on.
Yes.
And I think that's the beauty of this movie, that it's not a trans movie, it's not an LGBT plus movie. It's just a human film.
It's a human. Well, I mean, at the very core of this film, I mean, that's, you know, when people say, well, it's a, you know, a small artistic, no, this is a very big film. First of all, it's shot on 35 and it's gorgeous. Like, what other film looks like? I mean, other than Oppenheimer or Killers, you know, where they had $200 million. Okay, we had 1.6. Okay. So, but I'm just saying is, but the themes of this film are so large and have such depth and breadth, because it really, the emails I've gotten on this film are emails that I will cherish for the rest of my life. My friends, my straight friends or my gay friends or my transgender friends who have written me and said, Patty, that was my mother, that was my father, that was my sister, that was my brother, that was, you know, I'm devastated, you know, you rocked my world, you know, you shattered my world, you know, it, because it brings it all to about, it's family, it's about life and death and love and forgiveness, and how we become better people in the end. And that family is everything. It's everything. It's, you know, after I finished shooting this film, it was hard, you know. I went home to New Orleans to my great family. You know, I have all of my family pretty much still lives in New Orleans. And I kissed each and every one of them. And then when Monica came out, I took the film to New Orleans, and the beautiful theater in New Orleans gave me a theater to play it for my family and my friends, and all my family was devastated. And they were so angry at me because they were like, they were distraught by this. They were like, Patty, I can't watch you die one more time. I'm not want, I mean, but they all thought the movie was just extraordinary, beautiful. You know, it took them on such a journey, an unexpected journey, you know, and I'm just, and they haven't, my sister brought it up recently to me. She saw it in May, and she said, you know, Patty, I just keep thinking about Monica. I just can't let that film go. It comes back to me at times during a week, during a day, during a month. It just comes back to me. It's Andrea Paloro. The great.
In terms of creating the movie and production, how hard was it? Because I know the movie took like 2 or 3 years to be created, to be developed.
Yeah.
And even with you attached, that you are known on Hollywood, Tracy also is known, and why it took so long? Do you think it was because the money, they couldn't find the funds, or something else? Because the story, it can be challenging.
I think our industry is struggling still with the transgender subject matter, and it was hard to find a distributor too. I'm just going to be honest. And yet we took Venice by storm. We got an 11 and a half. We got a longer standing ovation than anybody.
I was there.
You know, and we took Venice by storm, but it's still, we're getting better in our industry. The LGBTQ plus community is now finally more represented than ever before. But I do think the transgender character is the last hurdle. And I think Trace has brought us past that last hurdle, but it took a long time to raise money on this film. And finally, you know, Italy gave some money because they're fans of mine. Thank you, Italy.
My final question is, in the past, I don't know, 15 years, you have played my favorite moms in movies. You play you play in Sharp Objects, and now you do Monica. How comfortable do you feel playing moms? Because you have played in comedy.
You know, the irony is I've never married and never had children. And, you know, I'm this straight, you know, Southern lady. You know, I didn't grow up, you know, I grew up in New Orleans. So it's not like growing up in Alabama or Georgia or somewhere like that. But still, I grew up in a, you know, but a very, you know, liberal, accepting and amazing family. And my mother was very accepting of my non-marriage and no children. First of all, she has 1 million grandchildren, great grandchildren, I mean, more than I can even count right now. But this is the thing. I have a slight objectivity. I dated a man for a while who had a child, and it was very important to me in my life. But I grew up with great parents, and I grew up with a great mother. Not perfect, but great, like great. And my sisters, I've seen how my sisters have raised these stunning children. I know what it is to be a good mother. And then, so I know what it is. I think I understand, and I've played some bad mother. Those are fun. Those are fun. Yeah, no, I'm gonna just keep poisoning my children here. But no, I understand it in a way that's interesting for someone who's never actually raised a child. But I'll just keep playing these great mom parts, honey. I'm flattered and humbled that that someone wants to offer me these remarkable parts, these challenging. I'm not sure I can do them parts. I always go in with great trepidation, but that's what I want at this point in my life. I don't want the easy road. That wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good for me.
Is there any role that you haven't played that you would love to do? Like besides being a great mom, besides being this, partner, or like there's any role that you
maybe somebody just really naked and sexy.
Would you do?
Which I'm gonna play in Robin Wright's movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the lead of Robin Wright's new movie, and I get to play a very sexy lady. Very sexy. Very, very, very sexy lady. So, and she's not a mother.
There's a great movie from Chile named Gloria that then Julianne Moore made the remake.
Oh, yes.
And she plays a sexy older lady that she just feels free, that she wants to experiment new things.
Yes.
If you've seen it, I highly recommend it to you.
No, I've seen it. It's a fantastic film. I mean, fantastic. No, I'm getting ready. I'm going to be doing a lot of sit-ups. And oh, baby. I was like, Robin, just give me a month or two, and I'm just going to be. Oh, yeah. No bread, baby.
Patricia, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Ruben, you're divine. Thank you so much, Ruben. Cheers. Bye.
I'll see you soon.
Okay. Cheers. Bye.